Hey garden friends, welcome on back to Flower Patch. Today we are going to spruce up our zonal geraniums, aka pelargoniums, so that they continue to bloom beautifully all summer long. I'm looking back here at them. I don't see any going to seed, or I would show you how I collect seed. I do have a video clip on how you collect seed. I know I have a blog post, which I will link, on how to collect zonal geranium seeds so you can plant them for yourself and grow more. I love growing geraniums from seed. It is so easy. But I'll point the camera down. I'll show you the sad state that some of them are in. The others are doing great. And what I'm going to do to continue getting blooms, a lot of blooms on my geraniums, pelargoniums, for the rest of the summer. Here are the geraniums. These are the ones I planted up for you this spring. I got the geraniums on the bargain rack at Lowe's, and they had come in a big container. They were marked way down, and they were just gorgeous. So I picked them up, even though I have lots of geraniums that I overwintered. I have a whole blog post and video on overwintering your geraniums, but I couldn't resist these. They were so gorgeous. So I knew I wanted these containers to be planted up with them thickly, so that's what I did. So now you see this one down here, it's gone over. I actually have an umbrella over these right now because it was so hot they were getting scorched really fast. Now it's cooled down a little bit, but we are going to get some more heat. So know that your geraniums, if they're looking pretty sad, can be reacting to too much hot sun. So you see how I cut that off? Now let me see if I'm in the camera over here. Yes. Now I'm going to go back to where it comes out of the stem down here, and I'm going to cut it back as close as I can. And I'll make a pile of them, and then I'll put them in the compost heap. And then I'll do the same here. Go down, and if you look closely down here, you will see there's a little sprout that it looks like it's going to come out, and another flower stem is going to emerge. So also at the same time, clean up some of these scorched looking leaves. Just cut them off as far down as you wish. And this ivy here has also, variegated ivy, seen better days. Now that heat wave was pretty intense. We got up to the hundreds, and we don't normally do that. So this probably wouldn't look as bad if we hadn't done that. Now I don't have any right now, but I had seen some on my petunias up front where it looks like I have caterpillars, so I have like budworm. And normally you would spray with BT. It's an organic spray for caterpillars. I've also used flour where I've dusted it with a sifter and put the flour on it, and then they gorge on that, and then they die and whatever. But since I've seen so many of the moths around that lay those caterpillar eggs, I think it's better off to go in with the BT. And I don't have any, like I said, right now, but I will get some, and we'll come back and do that. Let me put you up a little bit more. Right here, some more. Now you see these just basically, they haven't, to me, gone over like they're going to go to seed. These just were sunburnt. And then they look really scruffy. That one just pulled off. It didn't even. Now the euphorbia looks great. Now when you're in here, be careful. If you break the stem of the euphorbia, it has a caustic sap, and it could irritate your skin. So yeah, this one's looking pretty sad. Even though it has some bright blooms on it, it still looks icky. So I take off all the ones, even if it has some good flowers on it. I take it off because that will encourage more flowering. It may look a little bare, but there'll be a few that are on here that I leave that are in good shape. But let me pull these. Went through the back fence. I'll just pull those forward, period. I think I have to pull the whole container forward so I don't snap the stem pulling it through. No, I did okay. So here's one right here. The whole stem has dried up, but I don't see any seeds forming on those. So anyway, it has cooled down for us dramatically, so it will help these to recover and look better, and they'll put on new growth. It'll still be warm enough, but it's getting pretty cool at night, has been. And here's a weed in here. Oh no, that was part of the euphorbia. Whoops. See, I got some of that sap on me. Nope, wipe it off. I'm not ultra sensitive to it, but it still isn't very nice to get on your skin. So, let me see. That one has one good flower. There we have it. I've basically cut off all the old yucky looking stems. And now I am going to give it a shot of fertilizer. I didn't fertilize very much when it was super hot, but I could have. And because these are in containers, a lot of the nutrients get flushed out because I was watering them a lot to keep them hydrated. So they do need a good feed right now. I see another dead leaf down in there. It's looking pretty sad. So the soil is somewhat moist, and that's something I want. But this is a liquid fertilizer that I absolutely love and use extensively. It's called Dakota Eco Organic. This is the one that is made from recycled food waste. So it's a double win because you're getting rid of that food waste as well as you're feeding your plants safely, organically, and it helps build the soil as well. So I just am going to give it half this gallon jug. I mixed up to the amount it said, like 1 tablespoon or 1 ounce, I think, per gallon. And I'm just going to give it half of it because I have another one right over here, which I'm going to do the same thing too. And all of that. I know you don't need to watch me do the whole thing. That one just pulled right off, so that says it was ready to go. But you see how much nicer this one looks already? Just having the dead ones, or the ones that looked half dead, taken off. And later on this fall, let me see if these are going to just pull off. They are. Now that one's not going to. Well, it did. So that's another way. Just twist it down and it snaps off. So it says it was ready to come off. And yeah, this time of year is when I start to get the budworm, if I'm going to get it. So it's a good, even though I don't see evidence on these geraniums, it doesn't mean I can't do a preemptive. That one's got a few faded blooms. I see this one. Nope, that one needs to be trimmed off. Okay, that one needs to be trimmed off. Yeah, so I'm going to go get that spray and bring it back. I have to go down to my hardware store and see if they have it. Hopefully they do. This one already has a bud coming next to it. Hopefully you can see over here. That one's not got too much burned up stuff on it. So, okay, now I'm going to give it the other half of the fertilizer. And within a week, or I should say by next week, I should see some fantastic results of it filling back in. Since it already really has some buds on it, it won't take long for it to really fill in again. That one has a few faded. Let's see this one. That one's just scruffy. Anyways, there we go. So we're all set. One more over here. It sits on the corner of the deck. And I'm just going to do the same thing. See if that, nope, it's not going to break off. All these look a little scorched. They are in more direct sun than the other. And the only reason I left the other one up, the umbrella up, over the other two was, even though we have had a cool down, it's supposed to heat back up. And we are supposed to go on a little trip, so I wanted them to make sure they could conserve their water. I had thought of putting the Oya pots in there, but I didn't know if I could dig around and fit them in. So am I in the way? I don't know. Just getting all this dead looking stuff out of here. We're burnt to make it look pretty again. And these will, you keep doing this as the flowers fade. You will keep them blooming lushly, healthily, especially if you give them a good feed. And they'll be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. All during the summer. You can feel that one's a little bit dry. I need to come in and water it. Yeah. just a couple more leaves. Alrighty. Even this alyssum can use a little haircut. In here. It's gotten tall and lanky and going to seed. Some of this, probably this is one of them, is what came up from seed that I had let go to seed in my garden and in some containers, and they came up and I just started transplanting them into other pots. So I had free sweet alyssum. I also grow up from seed, which it does beautiful from seed too, but I didn't have to this year. So much came up in my pots. Okay, another one down. Well, garden friends, I know that was pretty basic, but there are very beginning gardeners who watch my channel, and I get a lot of questions that tell me that. So this was for them, and it's just a super, super easy way. I'm looking over at my geraniums. Why? I don't know. That's just the way I do. Anyways, yeah, so I try to do some of these basic beginner ones so that they have the confidence to get in there and the knowledge. Some may not know you need to deadhead your geraniums to keep them blooming and or remove the damaged or dead looking leaves. So I appreciate you following along, and you stay tuned for my next video. And if you wish, go on back and see the beginning where I planted these and got them off the bargain rack and how I divided them. There was 3 in a pot, and I have 2 other containers. You saw me do the one up on the deck rail. I have another one that I plopped down into the secret cottage garden because I wanted some color back there, and it's perfect. It's perfect to put in potted plants like that are blooming when you have a bare spot in your garden. So I'll share that in one of my upcoming secret cottage garden tours. So I will see you in my next video. And also go on back to the blogs, my blog, where I have different geranium care, how to start them from seeds, all that kind of fun stuff. Start from cuttings and how to overwinter them. So you can get all that over there. And I will link in the description box below. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.